Hello, my name's Kevin Hunt, and I'm here today just to kind of tell you a little story about me and my life and what I've been through in my life, and hopefully it'll reach somebody's heart out there and maybe help change their life. I was born in Southwest Missouri. I was raised with my grandma for most of my life, and around, I'd say 13, 14, I started drinking, and went to my first group home when I was 14 years old, my first drug rehab when I was 14 years old. And just, it's just what I thought I was going to have out of life, And so I went in and did my first rehab when I was 14 in Springfield, Missouri. And then from there I went to a little psychiatric place, and they told me that I couldn't go back home to my grandma's, and they sent me to a year-long group home setting and stuff. So I went there and was there and come back out and lived with my mom for a little bit until I weaseled my way back into my grandma's house, because mom didn't let me get away with what I could get away with at grandma's. And so I went to creek parties and partied a lot and smoked a little pot here and there, and actually quite a bit, and ended up doing methamphetamines. Well, that was a whole new breed, and did that from the time I was 16 on. I would reach out for God every once in a while, but I wasn't ready yet, and so I went through, and I was about 17 or 18, I started shooting methamphetamines intravenously, and just took my whole life. And I got with a gal, and about the time I turned 23, I was blessed to have a daughter by the name of Alexis, and she's everything, but it wasn't enough to keep me off drugs and alcohol. And so I continued to do methamphetamines. It was very scarce in my daughter's life, and this whole time I'd been in and out of jails, rehabs, and just a pretty miserable existence. I didn't work. I ran around with meth cooks and whatnot to support my habit. And so I did this for years, and then I ended up in a housing program. This is numerous treatment centers later, and just the carnage left in my path from the drug use. I ended up in a transitional living facility and looking at prison and everything. And I'd already been to prison once, but I was looking at a pretty substantial amount of prison time. And the judge suspended my sentence because I was where I was at, and that was God working in my life there. When I went to talk to the judge, I said "Your Lord" instead of "Your Honor," so he might have thought I was praying. So when I went through that and went through the program there, and I learned these 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, and I'd known God before, but what I didn't realize is the way the steps were designed, it was to really introduce me to God and strengthen my relationship with God, where I could have an actual relationship. Because he was there the whole time, but, I was still selfish and self-centered and wanted my way, and so, but at that time I got a relationship with God, and, my life's been changed. God has just worked a miracle in my life. My daughter, she ended up living with me after I got clean. We bought a house. I met a gal, and I got married, and my daughter lived with us. She went to a private school and is doing really well, and she starts college next year. And so, God just continues to work in my life, and just because, I have that relationship with God, that He just continues to work in my life. I stuck around the place so much they thought they should put me to work, so now I get to work with addicts and alcoholics every day, and just kind of lead them into God's arms and watch people's lives get changed and watch miracles every day. Like I said, I was on meth all my life, and God touched me, and when it was time, when I was at the bottom and I had nowhere else to turn except for to God, He was there, and He picked me up and He put me back on my feet. And there's a way out of the misery that people are living in with methamphetamines, and I'm just one testimony out of hundreds and thousands that God's touched our lives. And I just hope that if you are having trouble with methamphetamines, that you can reach out for the help and reach out to God, because He's there. Even when we don't think He's there, He's there. But He's going to let us learn our lesson and stuff in life. And He just will work a miracle in your life if you'll just sit back and let Him do it instead of you trying to do it. And so I just thank God for everything that's happened in my life. And I'm just thankful that I have this opportunity to share a little bit of my testimony with you.